Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Disney's Q1 earnings report.
Yep.
Earnings
Not much
call.
to say about it.
Yeah, it was kind of meh.
Yeah, basically I broke it down. I wrote stuff as it was happening and then just posted it when it was done because I honestly didn't care. That was the first time I can say I actually sat through it and I had no interest whatsoever and didn't give a crap at all.
I'll tell you the truth. I mean, the more that we cover Disney, and we've been covering Disney for years. We've worked in and around the Disney company for over a decade, different capacities. Worked on multiple theme park blogs covering Disney, been on Disney's media list, pitched cartoon shows to Disney, actually got a couple optioned. And the more I hear about the company and what's going on current year, the more personally disgusted I am with them right now, because I don't think Walt would approve of where his company is.
It's not even about Walt approving. It's just about it's a double standard.
Yeah.
There's some questionable behavior. They're yelling about racism while they behave racistly towards certain people, and it's just not okay. And it was a big nothing burger, and they kept trying to spin it and be like razzle dazzle. But there literally was nothing to talk about. It was actually kind of, not great.
Yeah, it was very meh. Even the wrap. Now we actually pay for the pro subscription. They had a story out there last night, and they were kind of like, yeah, it's very meh. It was a very meh. They tried to get people excited, like, look, guys, we got all kinds of, Disney Plus.
Well, I'll talk about that. Yeah, but it was like they were trying to drop things to try to make excitement, but there was nothing new.
No, Investor Day got people pumped because they announced a bunch of new projects. Again, for Disney Plus, which isn't going to be profitable for years.
2024, which we keep saying that, and they keep trying to spin it. Oh, no, we're going to be doing good starting this year or next year. No, they flat out said they won't be profitable on Disney Plus until 2024.
Yeah, and the stocks were dropping today. Now, the stocks actually went up yesterday before the earnings call. And I was like, well, it was okay. But then what was really interesting was to watch the stocks throughout the day drop. And apparently part of the reason for that was an analyst asked, how many times can investors get paid for the same thing?
Well, first of all, they only get to let certain people ask questions, and it's always, vetted questions, I think. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about what the wrap is saying. We'll talk about, Geeky's takeaway here on Pirates and Princesses, and we'll look into this situation with analysts that they're basically like, yeah, you know what, what's next? Because right now, all Disney has going for them is Disney Plus, which isn't going to be profitable for years. Their theme park business is crawling.
Well, we know that Disneyland Paris and Disneyland in California are closed at least to the end of March. Yeah. They will not be opening until April. Yeah. And the Hong Kong, I think it was Hong Kong, they said might open. It was Tokyo, one of the two.
I think it was Hong Kong.
Might open by, sometime in March.
But they weren't really big money makers for them anyway. Shanghai made more money, but Hong Kong was kind of so yeah, it wasn't that exciting. We'll talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 175,000 subs, almost 176, creeping up on 200. The support is appreciated. Thank you so much. We do cover Disney. We cover a lot of other things dealing with pop culture. We do have a Disney blog at piratesandprincesses.net. That is objective Disney news and opinions. And you're going to find a little more brutal honesty over there than you will on the blogs that are owned by travel agencies that are on the dole by Disney.
Right.
So just saying. So the Wrap put this out, said Disney Plus tops 94 million subs. Well, that was before the canceled Disney Plus hashtag trended, those numbers. So I don't know if it did any damage.
Well, did it? That would have been after the canceled Disney Plus.
No, they took the numbers, as I heard it, they took the numbers from a couple days before.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Of course they did.
And then all of a sudden people started canceling a whole bunch. And now again, to be clear, I don't believe that it's going to crash and burn Disney Plus, but there are a lot of people pissed off about the Gina Carano situation. I'm sure it did.
We're hearing that the executives are not happy with the cancellations.
Yeah, they did not want the hashtag of canceled Disney Plus trending the day before their...
But beyond that, they're upset because they were losing a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, they were.
So, contrary to what Twitter will tell you, apparently they did lose some subscribers.
But the pandemic is dragging down the bottom line. They reported the earnings for its first fiscal quarter of 2021 on Thursday. The company reported revenue of $16.2 billion during the first quarter, down 22% from the $20.9 billion reported last year. Now, remember, last year, the theme parks were open... Most of first quarter movies, everything was kind of firing on all cylinders.
Well, yeah, that time had like a lot of the big blockbusters at Christmas time, and everything else was included in that.
So they did make a couple $100 million more than they thought. They expected Disney to do 15.9. They did 16.2. So the pandemic continues to drag down Disney's bottom line. The media giant reported a profit of $29 million, down massively from last year's $2.1 billion. Oh my God. Profit of $29 million, down from $2.1 billion in the same quarter last year. That's largely because of its theme parks remaining either closed or operating at reduced capacity. And that's with them tossing a bunch of employees overboard. A lot of salaries they're not paying. And the movies have been delayed. But they're like, hey, Disney Plus is great. Disney Plus is great. Fished out its first full calendar year on a high note. Now it's nearly 95 million subs, and it'll eventually be profitable by 2024.
Which we've been saying.
Yeah, and it was like they were very non-committal with their answers. I mean, I was listening to it too, and I'm like, they're not really answering anything. They're like, we're hoping our theme parks will eventually open, and we're hoping that eventually we can have cruises again. We're hoping
they didn't bring up cruises at all, actually. Notice they didn't bring cruises up in the discussion at all.
Well, cruises are dead in the water.
They didn't bring it up even in the meeting at all. No, but what was interesting was when it was Chapek talking, he would be like, well, golly gee, guys, the Disney parks is going to be great. We've got Ratatouille opening sometime. And we have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opening sometime. No new news, just it's opening sometime. And we've got Disneyland. We've got the Avengers Campus that's going to open sometime. Someday. And then Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is going to be built there. It wasn't going to be open for a couple of years because they have to build it. Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't going to probably be open for a couple of years now because it got delayed. And everything he said was just nothing burger things we already knew. But he was trying to get the excitement. We got this stuff coming. Yeah. When?
Someday.
When?
Someday my prince will come.
Right. I mean, that's how it kind of was.
Bringing sacks of cash.
It was like they were dropping the names.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they weren't giving anything about it. Oh, then they mentioned the Star Cruiser Hotel.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, we have our Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel that's coming, and that's exciting. He gave no information about when it's going to open, anything else. And that's that LARPing hotel that they want to pay like $3,000 like a weekend to go in and LARP at Star Wars Hotel that most people aren't going to even go to.
Yeah.
But that hot damn, guys. And Grey's Anatomy is coming back on ABC. I didn't know that was still on.
Who cares? Is it a reboot? A reread?
I don't know. He said it's a #1 in the time slot or whatever. But I didn't say much.
I don't care. I don't watch doctor shows. They're dumb. Doctor shows are dumb.
And they're just, I don't watch, well, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, they're talking about like their lower movie results. But it's every time they give a lower number, it's because of this. Lower movie results. But remember, the theaters were closed. But remember, you had your Disney Premier Access.
Yeah, so how's that working out?
Well, they asked them about Black Widow, and they said, we
don't know, it's fluid.
Yes, it's fluid.
It's fluid.
I saw other articles saying, they said for sure it's going to be a theater. No, that's not what he said. What he said was, our plans are to have it in the theater, but hey, who the hell knows? Everything's going the way everything's going. It could change.
Basically, we're going to do stuff someday. Someday we'll make money again like we were before someday.
It's like, look over there.
Yeah, they're like, did we mention there's a vaccine on the way? Hot damn, we're going to be back in business in a year or two.
Yeah, we're going to make people wear masks and distance through this year, and maybe next year we won't have to. But maybe. It was like, wait, what? What was I talking about again? Oh, look over there. That's kind of how the whole thing was.
Yeah, well, apparently patience is kind of running out. I mean, again, look, they did, given that like 3/4 of their business is basically shut down, dead in the water at this point, all things considered, I guess they did pretty good.
Yeah, all things considered. I got to give them credit for that.
They're not fully dead. They're okay.
They still made it.
Had to toss, tens of thousands of employees overboard. They've had to make massive cutbacks while giving their executives fat bonuses. But still, they've sacrificed, right? They've sacrificed. But apparently, some analysts aren't really impressed with it. They're like, how many times can investors get paid for the same thing? That would explain why the stock is dropping. I'm like, why is it dropping so much? And said for a company exposed to many of the areas hit the hardest by the pandemic, Disney has seen its stock hold up well.
Yeah, I mean, credit where credit's due there, I guess. You know.
Thanks largely to the company's progress in streaming video and optimism. Now the company's business slowly showing signs of improvement, including a surprise profit in Thursday afternoon's earnings call. Amid smaller than expected losses in theme parks and streaming, analysts are debating how that momentum should be reflected in the stock.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here thinking, is the profit the same way that one girl told the SEC they were...
Yeah, right. Just kind of juggle those books.
I'm just because she can say, "Oh, thank goodness we had all this loss prevention," and then and the reason they have more people in the parks is because their one team and the engineering team found ways to cram more people in with the same amount of risk.
Yeah,
supposedly, maybe.
So yeah, this is Bernstein's Mark Shmulik titled his note to his clients: "How many times can investors get paid for the same thing?" He argued that Disney shares, which are up 33% over the past year, are already pricing the opportunities in streaming and economic recovery without accounting for risk. He said investors seem to be valuing Disney Plus, the company's streaming service, at more than 50% of Netflix's value, even though Disney Plus has 1/3 of the subscriber base and half the average revenue per user.
Yeah, the ARPU. And then here's the thing, too.
ARPU.
Well, I know, I'm trying to hear ARPU.
Problematic.
I think that. Anyway.
ARPU's problematic.
I always think it's funny when they say ARPU. But what's interesting though too is when they did things like last summer they were looking at the usage, and they said that the usage for Disney Plus wasn't anywhere near the usage on Netflix. They might totally have the subscribers, but that doesn't mean they were using it.
Yeah, and a lot of those people, they're getting it bundled, or they turned it on, forgot to turn it off, or whatever, But he said even if one believes that Disney will play catch up to Netflix in subs and ARPU, there is still significant time and risk for which shareholders need to be compensated. So basically, he's saying yeah, we're all betting on Disney Plus, but what if? What if the bottom falls out? What if it doesn't become the next Netflix? What if people get tired of it? He said he has a market perform rating on Disney stock. He boosted his price from 124 to 116, from 116, but the new target is still well below Disney's price of 189. Something's not right here. I'm sorry, my tinfoil mouse ears. Something's not right. You can't have a company that's 3/4 dead. They're tossing tens of thousands of employees overboard. They're pausing projects. They're pulling the plug on stuff. They're, they're clearly in Hurtsville.
They're talking about how they worked so well to keep costs down.
Right. And Disney Plus, yeah, they have a lot of stuff coming, like you said, someday. Right now, it's like they're just trickling out a new episode of something once a week.
That's basically, yeah, she said their goal was to try to get something new each week.
But that's not enough to play catch up to Netflix, which is like dropping entire seasons of shows like every damn day.
Right.
But yet their stock is going up. Something's not right.
Yeah.
Something doesn't feel right. Something feels very, very off about this. But that's just my own personal opinion. Moffett-Nathanson said that they see a mixed bag in Disney, including troubled legacy television networks, a fast-growing streaming business, and a bucket of parks and film assets with the potential for recovery. Potential for
recovery, as long as they don't ruin them with poor choices.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They might not recover fully because they do double down on stupidity.
Yeah, and if they're basing it on their subscribers for, because you have to understand too, they're rolling out Disney Plus with Hotstar in other countries and other markets this year as well. So they're just expecting globally to have all these people subscribe.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably get that. That's what they're basing this on.
Yeah, so that will explain the drop. People are kind of like, okay, this is great. What else you got? And I think for the last year or two, Disney's basically been coasting on the hype of Disney Plus. Look, guys, we got shiny, new stuff. We're cool. We're catching up to Netflix. And eventually people are going to be like, show me the money.
Well, I like the fact that it used to be people could ask questions. And now you're not allowed to ask questions. People are like, I'm going to ask about Gina Carano. We're like, no, you're not. We knew you weren't going to be allowed to. They let investors, when they have meetings now, the only people that get to ask questions are the big investment firms.
Yes.
And the banks and stuff.
Yeah, but
it's always the same people too.
It's always the same, like 4 or 5 vetted financial people. They're not going to ask tough questions. They're not going to be like, hey, fam, we saw this cancel Disney Plus hashtag trending on Twitter. #1 thing trending on Twitter today. Is that going to be a problem? Are people gonna cancel? No, it's all fine here.
Well, you know what's funny too? A lot of these investors they kowtow to are Republican capitalists.
Yeah, usually people that have lots of money like that tend to be capitalists.
But you know, if you're a Republican capitalist, they hate you apparently.
Yeah.
So, you know.
This is going to be really interesting to watch. Can Disney keep up the song and dance, throughout the rest of this year until they get their parks up and running again? Will people take to the new MCU? Will people take to The Mandalorian without Gina Carano? I don't know. See what happens.
I don't know what's got Mandalorian anyway, because now they have Baby Yoda is off with Luke and...
Well, Pedro Pascal is cast as Joel in the Last of Us series for HBO Max. Are they done with The Mandalorian? I gotta wonder.
No, they said season 3 next year.
Is it going to be a different Mandalorian? Different story? Who knows? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it was a big nothing burger, like you said. I don't know. Another day, another dismal Disney story.
I mean, hey, I'll give them credit because they did get a profit. I think they had to strip things way down to get that profit. That's probably why people got thrown overboard.
Yeah.
But they got a profit, so I'll give them that. I know they were shoving people in like crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, 35% cap, my ass, over the holidays, and they were selling. They were having big deals with annual pass holders getting discounts and all that kind of stuff, trying to move stuff. And they keep talking about per cap or P cap, which is like per person spending when you go to the parks. People are spending more money because they're given big discounts. So what they presented isn't the entire story, but I will give them props for, at least coming out a little bit ahead.
Razzle dazzle.
I know. I'm just saying, I'll give them props for that. It's not all bad news, but there basically wasn't news.
Well, we have Disney stock and we haven't lost any money, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad news, but like it was just no news really.
Non-news.
It was like basically same old. I don't know why I had a meeting. Actually, send the report out. You pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I gotta get
nothing
people,
announced.
Yeah, I gotta get people pumped. They kind of
didn't do very well to pump them up, did it?
Yeah, I was gonna use another euphemism, but I'm gonna say emptied their contents during the investor day. I'm not gonna use that other euphemism because I know you don't like that one.
I love you.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll talk later.
Bye.